Okay, let's do it again. Dude, you're not you're doing it wrong.
You started going fast.
I'm right. You're
speed I
you're
was playing the whole
you're
time.
wrong.
No, you sped up. I'm the same.
I'm playing. You're not
accelerating, and we're like at a stop sign. It's like
Okay,
a traffic light.
Let's do it again. We always want to be better. We always want to one up ourselves. We always want to, achieve the next thing, be the next best thing, or do this or do that. And in doing so, we often neglect, what's happening right now. We get ahead of ourselves. Like we try to put ourselves in the future version of ourselves. And sometimes it's better to just be in the version of yourself that you are right now. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to take action and do things in order to get to, the next place, wherever that might be, but it kind of just means you savor where you're at the moment, because when we're running away from where we're at, chances are, well, maybe in some cases, you're trying to get somewhere that you're not ready to be yet. And I don't mean that to say, don't try to do things until you feel ready, because I don't believe you ever truly feel ready for anything necessarily, but it's more so allowing the flow to sort of take you there, rather than you trying to rush there and race there. Like recently, I got a bike and I started cycling, and I did this pretty decent sized cycling trip for me, someone that's never really cycled. And then I came back from that trip and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a video every single day for the next month and put it on the internet. And then 3 days into that, I just got incredibly sick and couldn't move from my bed basically for a week. So I would say maybe I got ahead of myself, because I hadn't trained to cycle as much as I did. And then after that, I went straight into a really heavy commitment of content creation, which it's, quite an exertion of energy to create so much content. And yeah, I had to stop because my body was just no, not happening. And, for the first couple of days, I tried to kind of push through it and pretend I wasn't feeling sick. But, at the end of the day, I couldn't do anything. I was literally physically impaired. Another example of how we might get ahead of ourselves, and another spin on this concept, is where you're at now is a place that a past version of yourself really wanted to get to. And so, to give an example of this, I released an album a couple of years ago, and I had always wanted to release an album. For many years, it was a big goal of mine to put out a body of work. And when I put out the album, I didn't really take time to savor it. I was sort of just thinking about, what was next. But that was kind of doing a disservice to that past version of myself that had put so much work and effort and energy into creating an album. And now the album was there, and I was just okay, whatever, next. But I think it's a great idea to honor that past version of ourselves for all of the effort that they have put in to get to where they are, and to achieve the things that they've achieved, and to, be of service in the way that they have been. And it's a beautiful thing. And if we're constantly getting ahead of ourselves and looking to the next goal or whatever, we often are neglecting parts of ourselves and neglecting our own progress. And I think we ought to give ourselves more credit for where we are and what we've done to get here, because it's not easy, this whole life thing. I mean, it's not hard. There's ups and downs, as we know, but it's certainly not easy. And I think every day we should be giving ourselves a pat on the back a lot more often than maybe we do. I could give myself more pats on the back, and that's a practice that I've been, incorporating when I go to bed at night. I just take a minute or two to recognize what I've done today that has been really just great, for me or for the people around me. It doesn't necessarily have to be one or the other, but I think it's important that we focus on the things that we're doing and don't keep looking to the next thing that's gonna make us more loved or more this or more that, because right now, with the work that you've put in so far in this incarnation, you've done a bloody amazing job, you could say. So don't get ahead of yourself. You're doing perfect right where you're at. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value out of it, and I'll catch you in the next one.